Hey, so before we recorded this, I was spelunking, so there might be like a touch echo, like just a lot actually.
Hey, who are we talking to?
I'm talking to, our one fan. Howdy.
We have a fan?
I mean, I think we do. It could just be a tax collector. Alright, well, that's basically all I wanted to let you know. There's gonna be an echo. Sorry about that. Didn't say it in the episode. We love you. Howdy, everyone. It's me, Rolf the Parasaurolophus, here with my partner, Terrence the Pterodactyl. We're here to teach you all about dinosaurs. Welcome to Dinosaur Adventure 3D.
Wow, we're in the double digits.
I know, seriously.
It's so weird to think about. Felt like we just had this conversation.
I mean, yeah, it's almost like your mic didn't record it at first.
No, we're not going to talk about that. What are you talking about?
I mean, it was only the first couple of seconds.
It wasn't that bad, but we're going to make it sound like it was because why the hell
Because we're
not?
drama queens.
Actually, I'm a drama queen. Thank you very much.
I forgot, I'm a drama prime minister.
That's very
I
true.
was an elected official.
I know. I was surprised when you told me that news. I was like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
you're in power."
Oh, yeah. Drama queen of New Jersey. Well, drama prime minister of New Jersey.
I was about to say, I'm drama queen of
Delaware?
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. So you have annexed Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm proud of you. That takes guts.
It's not financially great.
I mean, it takes a lot of guts to.
No,
they got
it
some
really
stuff
doesn't. I know, but no.
I'm just saying. Good on
Okay.
you. Good on you.
Okay.
Zimbabwe is one next step towards.
I'd rather be in New Jersey.
I mean, you know what? I'm sorry, but we have like a democratically elected system there. But
Well, I mean, I mean,
you're always welcome.
I want to be in the tri-state area. I don't feel like being in Zimbabwe.
I mean, you know what? You're always welcome. You're always, as from prime minister to queen, you're always welcome.
So we talk about video games and anime on this podcast usually.
Yeah, like the one I referenced in the beginning, Dinosaur Adventure 3D, which I'm now learning that you didn't know about.
No, I literally thought you were making that up for the intro.
I know. I mean, I've gone off on tangents similar, but no, Dinosaur Adventure 3D was a game that I used to go to my local library, and I used to play it.
Oh, it's like an older PC game.
Yes, it is, and you play it as
Looks like
Rolf.
Land Before Time.
It looks a lot like Land Before Time.
Almost like a ripoff.
No, don't you dare.
Especially with that name, it literally looks like one of those bootleg games that's
don't you
like.
dare. This game is amazing.
I'm not saying the game is gonna be bad. It's just it reminds me of a legitimate bootleg.
You'd go through the different eras. You go through the Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic periods, and you'd play mini games. Like one of them, you'd be running from a horde of gallimimuses. One of them, you'd be putting together fossils. And the more mini games you did, the more eggs you could get, and then you'd hatch the eggs. And it was fun. And I played it as a child, and now I'm debating buying it again.
I mean, it's not that expensive. I mean,
No.
for that.
It's
If not, you can always
$12 on Amazon.
you can always also check on Steam because Steam surprisingly does have a lot of older games like that on their library. And usually they could have it for pretty cheap.
Although I don't know if I should have said that aloud because the cops might come for me. It's ages 4 to 8, and I'm 600. So
We'll just cut that out.
thank you.
Anyway, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night came out
Did it?
for every console except for Switch. Switch is having a release next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday now. And I'm glad to report from other sources, because I'm waiting for the Switch version personally. It is not another Mighty Number 9. It is actually a return to form, and it is actually successful so far. And I am very glad to hear that, because that is probably my game that that's probably the game I've been waiting for personally. That was a Kickstarter, and had like a similar story to like Ukulele or Mighty Number 9, to where original creators that made all your favorite games like Mega Man and Banjo-Kazooie make basically the same thing, but worse. Except in Ukulele's case, I just feel like no one cared as much after it came out.
Well, see,
Like once it came out, it was just like that's it. It wasn't you know.
Well, see, it came out. There was a little bit of problems. I, for the most part, like to say that those are the types of problems you get with that style of the game. But however, there were some noticeable glitches. The devs worked their best and they fixed most of the glitches from what I've heard, and now it's a fine game. But people just
It dropped off very quickly.
everyone was expecting it to bring them back to when they were a kid, turning on the N64
Yeah,
for the first
but
time.
then they realized, Banjo-Kazooie had the same kind of problems like that, and collectathons aren't as much fun anymore when you're a grown adult. Oops.
It ties a lot to the controls, because
that too.
Like Banjo-Kazooie, from what I played of it, controls were all right, but like it was a little clustered.
They're
Well, not
fine.
clustered, but like it was
Clunky.
Clunky, thank
Clunky,
you.
that's the word you're looking for.
A little bit clunky.
I mean, that's most N64 games. I mean, when you think about it.
That's true. I mean, unless of course you compare it to the magnum opus of movement Mario, which allowed you to. Well, what were some of those runs? Like 0 stars, things.
Yeah, Super Mario 64. Yeah, I mean, that is the only game that, oddly enough, really does have probably the best control, and when it comes to that console, at least.
I mean, that's because they designed it around the controls.
Exactly, and it was the launch title for the system, and it still is one of the most revered Mario games in the franchise.
It's good. I prefer Odyssey, but it is good.
Yes, Odyssey is miles better when it comes to controls, especially, but I at least, compared to in my head, I love Ocarina of Time, don't get me wrong, but compared to that game where everyone raves about that being the best Zelda game ever, I still don't think it is. Even back then, I was like, oh, this was a great game, but I don't think it's the best in the series. Definitely don't think it's the #1 game of all time. Oh, there was a list like that. I forgot. It was not VH1. It was someone.
Did like a list
it
of
might have
best
been VH. One of those kind of channels. They're like a top 100 best video games of all time, and Ocarina of Time was landed #1, and Mario Bros. Oh no, it was either Ocarina of Time or Super Mario Brothers. Which if it's Super Mario Brothers, that's
I could
fair.
see that.
Because Super Mario, honestly, I feel like with a list like that, it's more top 100 influential.
Yeah,
More than best game.
Let's say if it's influential, I could see Mario.
Then I can definitely see Super Mario Brothers being the influential game of all time. But that's neither here or there. I just think personally, I never really like lists like that. At least when they try to be as subjective as possible.
Yeah, those kinds of lists you really can't be all that objective with those kinds of lists because
you can't. You need someone doing it is gonna have some kind of connection with it to where it's gonna either bump it up or bring it or put it down.
Like for example, by all accounts, Pokemon Stadium 2 is like an advance on
it's the better game technically to Pokemon Stadium, but
I prefer
which
Pokemon
Stadium do people prefer? The first one. Which one did they talk about more? The first one.
Oh yeah, I love
for multiple reasons.
I never had the second one.
And that's something I personally never had the second one. I've had the first one, so that one I remember a lot more. And the announcer, as annoying as he can kind of get, he is very
damage.
Very iconic, and I honestly adore it.
It's a one-hit wonder. I love that.
He's just a nice booming voice, and I loved it. Yeah, but I always find it. I know I never like an objective top 10 games of all time. I like seeing people's personal ones.
Yeah. Where it's like, oh, this is my favorites.
Your favorites. Your top 5, whatever. My top 5. I like those lists better because. Besides that, I get to see what they think is their best or their favorite game of all time. I also kind of like to be then, if they go in depth of why is Bayonetta your favorite game of all time? Because this is why, and you get to be kind of get to see their perspective, and it's like, wow, either A, I love that game even more now because of you, or B, maybe I want to give that game another chance because of you, or I never heard of this game. I'm gonna pick it up.
I never tried Shadow of the Colossus until everyone kept raving about it.
Oh, I still need to play that. That's the game I need to.
You would actually like it.
I know, I would, but then I would
it wasn't up my alley, but you would definitely like it.
I know I would. There's a lot of games I still need to play on the back burner.
Darksiders 2 was pretty fun. I never got far into it, but that was pretty fun.
So that's something we could definitely talk about, though. games that you were never into before until someone or something got you into it, or at least introduced you to it. You don't have to be like the biggest fan of the franchise or game since you got introduced, but you could be like, oh, I never cared for this game until this person showed me whatever, or this YouTuber, or whatever fancied your boat that were like, oh, this game interests me because of I saw this.
I had a couple of those, but
Let's throw it out there. Let's do all three of them if you can think of them.
so one of the biggest ones was definitely Call of Duty. I hated the Call of Duty series. It looked so boring and dull to me. And then my friend, my childhood friend, had brought over his copy of MW3.
His name is Brady.
Brady?
His name is now Brady.
Okay. I mean, that name would not fit him, but okay.
That's
I'll tell you afterwards why. But so he brought over his copy of MW3, and me, him, and one of my cousins were playing the survival mode where they have the special ops guys coming at you. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And I bought my own copy of MW3 and kept playing it. And then I got Black Ops 2 because another one of my cousins made me play that with him, and I thought the zombies was incredibly fun, and I got really into the story. And then now I have Black Ops 3, and I'm tempted to get Black Ops 4, but I'm not a fan of like the more traditional Call of Duty still. I do respect the series a lot more now.
I still don't care for the series as much. Do I respect it? Not really, but I'm not going to rag on it like I used to when I was like in middle school. I just was never a big fan of those more gritty, realistic shooters. I tried them, don't get me wrong. Zombies was fun for a bit, yeah, but then like whenever I went to like certain cousins' houses, that's what they always played. I'm like, alright,
Did you guys try to do the story or just try to survive?
Survive.
Oh, it's a lot more fun when you try to do the story.
Yeah, I know. It probably would have been. But it was a lot of, for me personally, the only Call of Duty game I personally got was Black Ops on the PS3. But even then, I was like, alright, whatever. My brother played more of the Call of Duties than I have, and even then, that's stretching it. Yeah.
I wasn't going to get Overwatch when it came out.
Actually, Overwatch, I mean, I didn't even heard about the game until our friend was like, oh, there's a beta out, let's play it together. I'm like, alright, sure. And I instantly fell in love with playing with Mercy and Genji.
Well, see, if it weren't for Reinhardt, I definitely wouldn't have gotten the game.
Well, that probably wouldn't me too. It was like, oh, I get to play with my friend, and then it was like, oh, playing as a healer is always my thing. And I'm like, wow, Mercy's really fun as I'll play as. I'm going to play as her. And then it was like, I'm going to get the game. And I did, and I enjoyed it for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
I got it by just every couple of weeks putting in like $20 onto the Xbox, just like $20 game Xbox card here, $20 Xbox card there, whenever I felt like it, and eventually I had the game. But I was not going to buy it. I didn't like the fact that it was only multiplayer. Am and most likely will be someone who, even though they're not comparable because they're two different genres of games, preferred Battleborn. I thought that game was more fun to play. I liked the fact that there was a single player, and it introduced
and also an actual story.
Despite the fact that even to this day they've tried to nerf her over and over again, and Galilea is still broken,
which is really funny. Yeah, Battleborn I was also very excited for, and I did play that game a lot with you, especially. I definitely still have fun with it. When we go through the story, it was kind of annoying after a while because honestly it was kind of boring and tedious, and I didn't care. I really didn't. And in my mind, this was when I was like really wanting a Borderlands 3 even more, because I'm like, I knew this was just like the in-between game between that, in all honesty. And I'm like, alright, it's trying to be like Borderlands, and I can't get over it. And I'm like, not enjoying it as much with that. And then
funnily enough,
it irked me. But I enjoyed the game for what it was. I definitely enjoyed it. I still think it was annoying and unfair when the game came out because
everyone compared it to
Overwatch.
The people marketed it as a competitor to Overwatch.
Yeah, everyone compared it to Overwatch. The marketing compared it to Overwatch. And I'm like, but it's not at all like Overwatch. And they really should have made the release window for that game not near Overwatch because
Not at all.
it shot in the foot and killed the game to a free-to-play.
Oh God, yeah.
And that really, it's a shame because the game at least had work put into it, but I really do think it should have had a bigger time to shine potentially.
About it.
Yeah, they really should have been, and that was their own fault.
They essentially set it up to fail for
They
whatever.
did.
They're like,
And it was
we're gonna compete with Overwatch and we're gonna outbeat them. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I
You
guarantee you're not.
like-
I love your game more. You're not
But you're
beating
not.
Overwatch.
no, it had a bigger impact too. So, unfortunately, that's how that game went.
And then Zelda was another game that I never, not once cared for. And then Nintendo was like, oh, we're giving away Wind Waker HD for free. Or Pikmin something. I think it was 2.
3.
3?
Yeah, 3 was on Wii U.
And I was like, I don't care for Pikmin, so Wind Waker it is. And then I played Wind Waker, and then I beat it 3 times. And
Wind Waker is a very, very special game to me. That was a big GameCube game besides Twilight Princess still being my personal
still
favorite.
never played that one.
I bought the HD version on Wii U. I never touched it. Oops.
At least you got the wolf.
I don't think I even got the wolf.
Really?
I don't think I think I literally never touched it. If not, probably very barely. Anyway, yeah, Wind Waker aesthetically, even back then I really loved it. I remember my cousin giving me a cheat code disc for Wind Waker, and I played the shit out of it with cheats. And then when HD came out, that's when I actually beat it actually beat it on my own. And even back then with the cheat codes, I never beat it. I really didn't beat it until it went on the Wii U, and
I mean, I didn't beat Ocarina of Time until the 3DS.
even that, same here actually, same here.
I never even touched Majora.
Majora I played. Well, I didn't originally own it, but I borrowed a Zelda collection on the GameCube that had it because I wanted to play it. I still have it. I'm not friends with that guy anymore. Oops. Anyway, I really do like Majora's Mask a lot. Yeah, it was a time thing and a little annoying. Sure. But yeah, also you still have to think about the game was.
It was kind of worked around the time thing. Like it was
That and also, I mean, yeah, it was it rushed development wise. Yeah, it was big.
But it was a good game.
I think it was a great game. Music, I fucking adored. I love Song of Healing. It is my actual ringtone for my phone because I think it's that good.
I like the songs from Majora. I watched a friend of ours play some of it, and I'd hear the songs. And I was like, I like this.
The the music in that game specifically is really good. But yeah, Wind Waker. Let's go back to Wind Waker real quick. Yeah, I still think that's I mean, that game's growing on more people by the day, but I still think it's a very solid Zelda game.
Oh, it's the only
by far.
It's the only one I find myself going back to.
Which is fine. I mean, in all honesty, I don't go back to that many Zeldas.
Like
at least
sold
at
my
this
copy of
point.
Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know someone who wanted to buy Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay. So you did that kind of stuff.
And I was like, yeah, why spend max amount on it when I don't touch it? And I was like, $20, it's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm never going to touch it again. So
I mean, I probably might not either personally. I'm still excited for Breath of the Wild 2, working title, not the actual title. But
I want Ganon to be a good guy. I'm one of those.
Hey, that's fair. We don't know yet. We really don't know what the story's going to be like. They're still saying
All we know is that Mummy is angry.
And Nintendo's still saying that game is going to be darker than Majora's Mask, which, okay. I like to see how you're going to do that.
Does that mean Zelda's going to die, or is Link going to die and we play as Zelda?
I would love if you could play as Zelda so you can actually switch up the series, but you know what's also been making the rounds of popularity? Cadence of Hyrule. That, rhythm game has, the Zelda skin over
I didn't even know
it.
there was a game that came before it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, yeah, so.
And then they added Link and Zelda, and everyone's like, oh.
It's actually a fun game. Anyway, okay, going aside from that, so did you list was that your 3 games? Or was that only 2?
No, that was 3. That was Call of Duty, Overwatch, and then Zelda.
Gotcha. Most of these games I'm probably going to actually tell you probably would be like, oh wow, I actually, these are my favorite games. Well, really are my top 5, but Bayonetta,
Really?
I got into by two ways. One, I had before the one friend that we play online with a lot. I had another friend before him that was almost like the prelude to him, almost.
The prelude to him.
I mean, I played Resident Evil with him a lot, and I mean a lot. And then whenever he wasn't on it, he was playing Bayonetta. I'm like, oh, what's this game? It's like, oh, it's a really awesome, fun action game, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then when I met my other friend, he showed me this stupid, like, basically shitpost series based on Devil May Cry. And then one of the episodes that he did had Bayonetta in it. And I'm like, oh, hey, look, it's more Bayonetta. And, like, you know, I saw him like, oh, like, she's like a sexy witch. I'm like, all right, I'm into that aesthetic and whatnot. And then, you know, I eventually was like, oh, people saying it's a really fun game. Like, okay, I'm going to ask for it for Christmas. And I did. Got it that Christmas. And obviously, that's my life's been changed since that. And this is after I played Devil May Cry and whatnot. And so I was like, oh, it's another Devil May Cry-esque game, and it's made by the same dude, but it's like a more action-y, sassy kind of thing. I'm like, I'm down for it. Clearly I was, and still am, so, you know, that's a big game.
That's really surprising.
I know.
I mean, I didn't even play it until the second one came out.
That's a good amount of people, too. At least I know a lot of people that were like, oh, I didn't play until the second one. I'm like, that's fair. Most people didn't know about it until the second one.
Because my Xbox 360 was essentially the Lego Star Wars device.
But, hey, that's fair. Mine was Resident Evil 5 for the longest damn time. Other game that I saw one of my other friends on Xbox playing, Skullgirls.
Really?
Both of them played it, and they're like, oh, it's a really fun fighting game. I'm like,
I
okay.
played some of that.
And I'm like, oh, this is a really fun game. And then I got better at them at it, and then they stopped playing with me. Story of my life.
Oh no, I'm too good at video games.
But it wasn't. But yeah, that's another game that I thoroughly enjoyed because I ended up loving the story. I liked the characters.
My favorite was Misfortune because I like throwing my head at people.
It's so much fun. And then Robo Fortune's just literally the robot version, and I
Yeah.
love it. And I love just beep boop me out. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's a big game. And then my other god damn, I hit the table. Probably my third favorite, or the third game I want to talk about. It's gonna be a toss up. I'm gonna not say Perfect Dark. I'm probably gonna say, well, I mean, this one's kind of like, oh, this makes sense. Is Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, didn't your
Because
Awakening was your first one, right?
Awakening was my first
It
one.
was also my first one.
The reason why I got into it because
Awakening
I
is S
play.
tier for saving the franchise.
Besides that,
Have I shown you that video?
I don't think so, but
Later.
later. So, you know, I was like, I like playing as Martha and Roy and Ike in Smash Brothers. And I'm not that kind of person personally where it's like, oh, if there's like a crossover game or like a crossover, like in a fight, like let's say in a fighting game, Tekken crosses over with
So is that why you're like more interested in Ruby because Ruby got into Blaze Blue?
yeah, and same thing with Under Night in Birth. I really, really like playing as Hyde and Seth and Yayorozu. And I'm like, alright, this is really fun. Merkulov is awesome. But like that's what I mean though, like, you know, I'm that kind of person like, oh, if I'm really interested in like a crossover game and like or someone crossing over into one of my games and it's like, oh, who are they? What are they about? And I want like Fire Emblem is a big one. Fire Emblem Heroes like that with me. You know, oh, I really like Sigurd. I want to know more about him and Quan. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I really, really like this. So, yeah, with Fire Emblem, though, so, back then, though, like, when Melee was out and they were eventually releasing the Game Boy games, I think it was a matter of I really didn't play a lot of it because I couldn't either have access to it as easily as I could by, like, Awakening. Or also marketing. I'll be honest, I didn't know most of these Fire Emblem games still came out in America until roughly Awakening because that's when they started marketing it finally. And because before Nintendo Directs, they used to have on the 3DS eShop like
I remember those.
well, not Nintendo Minutes. It was some girl that like had like a like at least like a CG like presentation thing. It's just like, oh, coming to 3DS and Wii U this spring. Here's a trailer of Fire Emblem Awakening, and I'm like, this is fun. And then I played the demo of it, and my life's changed since then again. But yeah, I really am that kind of person. It's like, oh, if this franchise crosses over with another franchise that I have not played yet, I wanna see what it's all about. Or if it's the other way around, like, I didn't get Tekken because of this, but it's like, holy shit, Noctis is in Tekken 7. Holy shit, that's fucking weird, but I'll take it. It's not in English, but yeah, it was really fucking awesome, and I don't know, I'm that kind of person that really enjoys that kind of thing in video games, especially.
You reminded me of like what would probably be like the biggest one actually for me, having not cared for it. Smash. I have never touched the N64 version. Melee, I was essentially forced to play by our other friend.
I remember, yeah.
And I would essentially just run around the stage doing nothing.
Yep.
I never wanted to play that game.
Yep.
And then Brawl came out, and Sonic the Hedgehog was in it, and I said, well, I guess I'll try it.
And that's what I mean, though. I feel like, especially nowadays with, like, Smash Ultimate and all these DLC fighters coming in, it's really such a huge, yes, I know it's also marketing and, it gets companies word in or, it gets their characters in so they can sell more copies of their own game of that. But, it's really big and important, I feel like, for games like Smash, include characters like Simon, Richter, Joker, Banjo-Kazooie, the hero from Dragon Quest, Sonic. And then, you got like your anime fighters like, BlazBlue that adds Persona, Ruby, and Underneath in Birth, which I never heard of until that game.
Yeah, no,
And I really do feel like more companies should, or at least more games should strive to do that a bit more. Not like all the damn time, because then it wouldn't be as special. But when the crossover makes sense, or it's at least a fun crossover, I really want them to. I really like if they did that more often, because it would spice up some games and
what
make
game was
it more
actually
interesting.
surprisingly fun, speaking of crossovers, that I would never have expected to be fun in 1,000 years? The Mario and Rabbids Kingdom battle.
Yeah, I played that over at our friend's house, and I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of fun. It's like a weird Fire Emblem.
Like, anytime I see the rabbits in something, I'm like, oh, that's not going to be fun. But, like...
It was not too bad.
And also, some of the Raving Rabbit games were, like the first one.
I played the first two Raving Rabbits game. I actually liked them. I really did.
Yeah, I thought they were fun. And then the rabbits became...
Cancer.
Literally the video game The Minions.
Yes, everyone made that joke.
I mean, it's
a very true joke.
It's ass.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh, remember those dark times where everything was the Minions and Rabbids?
Oh, God. Well, the Minions are still technically around. You just got to go onto, like, Facebook for them.
Exactly, but I don't go on Facebook.
So this is not really a video game topic I just thought of, but
That's fine.
It is like a pop culture kind of topic.
We don't always talk about that here.
That's true, but it is like a pop culture kind of topic. What is your favorite and least favorite social medias?
They're all kind of bad, in all honesty. Instagram I just don't know how to use. It sounds stupid, but like I use it and like I stopped looking at it enough to where like I just delete it off my phone.
I don't follow anyone on Instagram, so I don't really.
And that's another thing. I really didn't follow too many. I follow the same people on Twitter. Facebook I stopped using like 7 years ago. I used Tumblr for a while, but then like it stopped, and then like everyone kept like either posting the same post, or it was like kind of the same like wannabe edgy post, or
Talking about Tumblr or Reddit?
Tumblr for right now.
Yeah,
Reddit's roughly the same, and I haven't looked at Reddit in a while either. I've really only been honestly looking at Twitter the most, but that's really only because the things I follow and look at, the most active on that, whether it's video game companies, announcements, leaks, rumors, anything interesting, funny, whatever, or anything voice actor related or anime announcement related, that's where I go to at this point. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's just the one I use the most. I don't use Snapchat for anything like that. I use it for really. Oh, what are my immediate friends or coworkers doing? That's about it.
I use Snapchat whenever I find a free cardboard box and I've got some duct tape and some.
Well,
free
you're the
time.
one of the Snapchats I really look forward to. If I see, I'm like, ooh, what am I in for this night?
I mean, I rarely send them, but if I do send them,
Yes, but when you send them, it's a treat. That's the point. So yeah, I use Twitter. I guess is my most favorite, and my most not is Instagram, but not because I hate it. It's just because I don't
God, you sound like a
really
Reddit.
use it.
Instagram man.
No, no, I don't like Reddit either. Reddit is too pretentious.
I like Reddit and I hate it at the same time. Cause
I mean, that's my thing. I like Reddit, but I hate it too. But I hate it a lot more than Twitter, where Twitter's just more whiny and negative, where Reddit is more whiny and pretentious.
yeah, no, it's like you see something on Reddit and it's either this post will get 7 upvotes, or when you don't when I see someone who doesn't upvote a post they like and it's a picture of Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls where she's like no me gusta from like the new Powerpuff Girls, or it'll be like
Yeah, so a lot of the karma whore. That was the same thing with Tumblr though. And there you go. That's something like the reblog. Like, oh, get like 1,000 reblogs and I'll suck a dick to play Breath of the Wild. I don't fucking know.
God. Tumblr annoyed me. Like I'd go on and Tumblr just annoyed me.
Like, it had a lot of fan art that I liked. That was one thing I liked about
Took all the porn
Tumblr.
down.
Yeah, no, but that's not what I was talking about.
No, I know.
Yes, they took all the porn down, but I don't think they did anymore. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway,
You can show female exposing nipple.
which is so stupid. But like, then I eventually followed more people on Twitter. Then like, oh, they showed me like, oh, they follow these artists. I'm like, oh, I really like these artists, so I follow them. So I get more content from that than I did Tumblr or Reddit. Even though Reddit I get content for, but sometimes it gets very samey, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. At least where Twitter, it's a little less bad.
Well, see, I think like with Twitter is you get to pick specifically who you're following.
Yes, I do.
It's like the main problem with most things is that like Twitter, you want to follow Nintendo, your Uncle John, and
Funnily, I do have an Uncle John.
I didn't know
Continue. Keep going though.
and NSP. So you follow those three, and then you only get information about those three.
For the most part. And then, like, the only thing I didn't like what they did after a while was if they liked something, it's basically like a retweet. I'm like,
God, yeah.
I'm like, but they like the thing. It's only one singular person. I get when it's like 7 people like this thing, and then you show me it, fine. But don't fucking show me a post that one singular person I follow likes. If they retweeted it, fine, but they're not. So why the fuck are you showing me this post of a nipple when I don't need to see it unless 7 people like the nipple?
All right, but listen, I'm not going to stop doing that. Nipple of the week needs to happen.
Stop. There's probably a Twitter of that.
I know there's like there's the same pic of Danny DeVito's face every day. So
Yes. There's a lot of those. I see like Chromamibo other day.
What's it? I used to use 4chan, and then it got so not fun. And it all devolved into just people posting porn in like every single. It's just you'd go into video game and it'd be like post your favorite lolly video game characters, or you'd go into like random and it'd be like rate my dick, or you'd go like, it was just
gross.
It's just it got so dull, like the same shit.
Which is bad to say when, seeing a lot of dicks and people showing their fucking lolly.
I've seen enough assholes that someone could show me their disgusting chocolate starfish and I'd go, that 4chan is like a place of degeneracy. That's what made me like it, was that it was a place of degeneracy. But like, it's not even the fun kind of degeneracy anymore.
It was like the legitimate degeneracy
it's
of
just
this
like
fucking world.
It's like boring. It's not shocking anymore. It's not fun anymore.
You're just desensitized. That's the issue, Jay. You're desensitized.
Well, no, because 4chan.
No, you're desensitized from 4chan.
There's still some things in there that'll get me good, like the hentai manga that someone sent me on a rabbit hole to find that I refuse to tell any of you what it's called, because that shit still is burned into my
Wait,
brain.
is it the one with the girl with like glasses that like looks very like depressed? She has like pigtails almost. Reddit kind of throws it out there once in a while, and it's like a numbered. It's like a number hentai thing.
No,
Okay.
it's not. No,
Okay.
much worse. Much worse.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then with Tumblr, Tumblr annoys me. I can go like 6 minutes on Tumblr, and then Tumblr, I'm just like, I need to be done with this.
That's fair. The only other time I use Tumblr, I actually no, I delete Tumblr as well. But like, our friend would send me a lot of memes for that. But then like, not gonna lie, funnily, he does send me one post where it's like, oh, I was seen this meme on Reddit like 7 days ago.
I love that. It's
But like,
so
not gonna
funny.
lie,
I've seen that on Reddit.
I've seen a lot of stuff for him now on Twitter or Reddit, and I'm like, okay. And even then, he doesn't even respond to anything I send him anymore. I'm like, all right, have fun with that. I sent you a funny meme, and you give me fucking nothing.
What's
I
it?
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So Facebook again have not used in the long. I add work friends there sometimes, but that's because I'm a lot more friendly with the people I work with. But
But why not just give him like your Twitter or your Reddit?
'cause no one needs to see my Twitter. Oh wait, no, never mind. I changed the icon. It used to be Sonic Shadow and Silver as humans.
Yes, but now it's the Black Knight with Shrek's head on it.
Yes, but Twitter, I use occasionally. Like I'll scroll through, see what Lyle or the Game Grumps are doing. But again, I rarely. It's not like I'll scroll through it like I will with Reddit. Snapchat, don't use. Instagram.
Nope.
My cousins try to send me memes on Instagram, and then they go, "Did you like my meme?" And I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking
And
about."
not gonna lie, I will be honest. Like when you, especially like when you go on multiple social medias, like on a daily basis, you can kind of like
See the same meme multiple times.
that, or like you kind of. It sounds weird. You can kind of like see like where the meme came from. Like oh, like that's a Twitter meme. Like oh, that's an Instagram meme. That's a Snapchat meme.
Made
Like
with iFunny.
that's Instagram. Or like you can tell like if something's like an Instagram post or like a Twitter post. Like at least that's how that's personally I feel like I'm like all right, I can see like that's an Instagram post that's just ripped from this. I'm like okay. Or like when our friend shows us a lot of like dog videos or like fan art of like My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like that straight up looks like something only Instagram would have. It's just it's a weird idea to me, but like I see that personally. And the Facebook memes you can just fucking tell from a mile away, and I want to vomit.
You know, yeah. But you know, it's weird because I think my favorite one currently is Reddit, and my least favorite one currently is Reddit. Because I like scrolling through it, but the same six
Meme formats show up all the damn time.
not even the meme formats, because you can do great things with the meme formats. I'm talking like all of how you'll only ever see this post will only get 7 karma, upvote posts that you like, Minecraft good, Fortnite bad. I'm fine with the Keanu Reeves one because I love Keanu Reeves. But like, there's this.
He's more popular than he's more popular. I think in his 50s now than he's ever fucking been.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone's always known he's been a good guy, but now he's like
Now,
also
ever
really-
since John Wick, honestly, I feel like it's really when he shot back up in popularity and
ever since John Wick
beloved.
got into Fortnite.
yeah,
But that's an annoying comparison. It's when people are like,
Fortnite good,
no, Fortnite bad, Minecraft good.
whatever, same.
One
thing.
of them is a
Same thing.
sandbox survival game, and the other one
It's a battle
is a
royale.
third-person battle royale. They are nothing alike. I don't see the point in comparing them. If you want to say Fortnite bad, Apex Legends good, that's fine. You want to say Terraria good, Minecraft bad, that's fine. That's your opinion. But don't
my opinion.
don't come up to me and say, I think that Fire Emblem is a better Fire Emblem good, Mario Kart bad. What? They're so glad I grew up playing Fire Emblem and not Mario Kart. They're not this. That's like no.
No, it's a no.
Glad I raised chickens on my farm instead of shoelaces. I don't know what to tell you. Actually, I guess a more apt thing is glad I raised chickens on my farm and not cheetahs, because they're both animals, but
I got what you were going at.
Reddit is so goddamn annoying. The mods are incredibly annoying.
I don't even get their purpose because I really don't do their purpose.
Oh no, they block you they ban your posts because it violates one random rule that they don't allow. But okay, so I have a story.
I know the story, so you can enlighten the audience.
Okay,
that is one person.
Yes. So there was a time in Fire Emblem Heroes where Hell says to Alphonse, in 7 days you're gonna die. And Alphonse laughs and goes, great, that means I don't need to find you in 7 days to kick your ass. So then Hell pussies out and goes, never mind, I'm not gonna kill you in 7 days. And I found on Reddit, this was on Reddit, an image of a man holding up a gun to his cat, and it was a Snapchat picture, and the cat was staring at the gun like, do it pussy you won't, and the caption read, this nigga ain't afraid of shit. So I took it, I put Alphonse's face over the cat, Hell's face over the gun, and posted it saying, no he ain't. And it got banned, and I was like, I don't understand why it's banned. And then it was like, for inappropriate language. And I was like, all right, the N-word is in there. Okay, I could, it would make sense. I could understand why you wouldn't want that on your...
But I still see that
but I found it on Reddit! And, like, it's just, oh. But at the same time, it's fun to scroll through.
That's fair. Yeah, that's really fair.
Oh, there's a new box out in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Duel Links.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links has a new box out called, like, The Power of Earth Monster, something like that.
Yeah, I haven't really personally done too much with it, nor really do I know what's in it. So if you want to tell them what's in it, go for it. Because
it's got a lot of cards from Duel Monsters Season 4, which a lot of people are like, that one didn't make sense. No shit. The whole thing doesn't make sense, but that one was extra didn't make sense.
Yeah, that one really didn't make sense. It was bad.
That one, yeah. But it's got, like, the Joey Knight, the Yugi Knight, the Kaiba Knight. I can't be bothered to remember their names. It's got an extra card that powers up the Dark Magician. It's just all a bunch of strong Earth cards, which is weird. Or rock, which is weird that it has, like, a Dark Magician boost. Oh, pardon me? Oh, Jesus, that was like...
Ew, you just vomited all over the floor, Jay. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Well, it's seeping through the floor, so it's acid.
It's seeping through my pussy. What are you talking about?
We're gonna have to take the cat to the emergency room.
Oh.
But,
Okay. Well, shouldn't we get that taken care of now, then? Or...
yeah, I guess we could. We can...
Yeah, that's... Ew, it's getting... Oh, God. It's showing its... Is that its asshole popping out?
That... All right, yep. All right. It might be time to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, sure. Well, you want to finish your story?
Nothing really important.
I mean, you could.
Okay.
Honestly, fuck it. Yeah, we'll let it settle for... Let's have it calm down and then we'll...
Motherfucker bit me on the toe earlier, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, eye for an eye, they say. It's mostly just
like a toe for an asshole.
That's good. But, it's mostly just, like, rock power-ups. The most notable thing being those dragon cards and a fusion of Dark Magician shooting his dark magic attack through a dragon. And one of the Exodia line of cards in it. It's Exod, the whatever it is. It's the only one that doesn't reference Exodia. They give you 500 free... They basically say, first 10 packs are on us, which is really nice. That's really the end of the story. Nothing else interesting to add to that.
I don't know why I said story. I honestly kind of forgot what you were talking about. I'm not gonna lie.
Yug.
At least, at least, never mind. Anyway,
final thoughts are
Prometheus. I got twice, and Dragalia lost today. I was very happy. So
people should stop complaining about the bullshit that happens in Yu-Gi-Oh and start questioning who the fuck programs that into the holograms.
Oh, I thought you were about to go into like...
No. Like when Yugi's like, I have my soldier attack the moon. It's like, why is he allowed to do that? Why did someone program that into the holograms?
No, that's fair. That's very fair. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, now I'm burping. Thanks, Jay.
No problem.
Oh, all right. Well, here's my random like closer because I just remembered it. So the Final Fantasy VII remake, they told us more information about it, at least in the sense of, so everyone that saw the trailer that grew up with like playing Kingdom Hearts or like any of like the past Final Fantasy games and whatnot that featured those characters' voices, were all different. And surprisingly, they actually said, from what I was told in a video of a guy who went to like a behind closed doors like not meeting, a showing of Final Fantasy VII remake. All the voice actors, like if any Final Fantasy game featuring those characters are coming back, they'll actually bring back those original voices and not the remake. They actually are trying to have. They brought a whole new cast to the remake, and they purposely did that. But so if they make like another Final Fantasy VII spin-off or like a Final Fantasy game with like Cloud in it, they'll actually keep his English voice in like Kingdom Hearts and the movies and whatnot. And I'm like, that's really weird, but I kind of get it. But at the same time, it's like I just find it so weird that they're basically having two actors for English speaking people at least for these characters, and they'll literally use the remake for the remake, but then use the others for the rest.
All right, that's pretty cool.
It's weird. It's cool, but weird.
All right. So George Bush paid off Osama bin Laden to do 9/11, and that should be all.
Oh, great. Well, that's still burning the floor, isn't it?
We should take care of the cat.
Well, it's not really even a cat anymore. It's just kind of a puddle.
All right. Well, first things first, we gotta bury it and hide the evidence.
What are we gonna bury? Even the assholes went away.
I'm not gonna lie. I really need to dig a hole.
I mean, you could just said that. I don't mind digging a hole.
Wanna go dig a hole?
Let's fucking go dig a hole. Let's go dig a hole.